What's going on, team? It's Evan Brown again. If you watched my previous videos, you kind of know my situation, but for those who are just tuning in, this is the first video, I just want to give you a brief overview of what's going on. So back in February 2019, had a pineal cyst, had it cut out by the famous Dr. Kim. Surgery went really well, bumped my head using the restroom due to improper supervision on the nursing staff's portion. Initially no symptoms, leaving the hospital, I was pushed in the elevator in a wheelchair. I could walk at the time, but company policy, you've got to be in a wheelchair. And I was like, you guys operating my brain? Sure, I'll get in your wheelchair. Got in the wheelchair, getting pushed out of the hallway into the elevator. That jostling, when you enter the elevator, there's like a door track. We've all been in elevators, so we know what I'm talking about. And yeah, so they pushed me in it. The moment I entered it, blacked out. It was really, really momentary. The nurse I was with, my family even, no one noticed that I just blacked out. It was super, super quick. And I woke up momentarily in the elevator, and before I could articulate what happened to the nursing staff or to anybody, they pushed me back out of the elevator, of course, and I blacked out again. When I came back to that time, albeit a second later, it was super, super quick, I came back to a different world. This world consisted of initially hallucinations. I was so out of it, I was hallucinating. The bottom left quadrant of my vision looked like static on a TV. It was so surreal, so scary. I was 25 at the time, and I was like, I just underwent deep brain surgery. I come back to, I'm feeling good, and now 36 hours or maybe 48 hours of the time, I'm hallucinating. And I'm like, this isn't good. This isn't good. So you know what I mean? I beg for help. I'm in the lobby at this time. I'm begging for help. I'm crying. I'm pleading. Someone come, please. Someone come help me. No one came. Someone did come. A random doctor came who had no idea who I was, didn't know anything about me, and he's like, "You're fine. Go home." This is classic for Dr. Kim's patients. I knew something was wrong. So I touched on earlier what I woke up to, and what I woke up to was confusion, was nausea, was a horrible headache, was the visual issues, was the overall sense of just living in a daze, living in a dreamlike state, feeling disconnected. That was February of 2019. Now we are in July 2020, and this past year has been one hell of a journey. One hell of a journey, and I wish it was, a straight line up, like walking up the side of a pyramid or a triangle. Unfortunately, it has been anything but that. And there's a lot of content coming at you. We're only 2 minutes 40 seconds in right now, and I'm just going to keep throwing it at you. I don't really remember what the other videos are about, so I'm just kind of putting out this, and I hope that the volume of videos I get out in the world, they may be all very similar, but I hope they're able to touch up people that if I just left out one video, it wouldn't be able to touch people. So I'm just trying to get out there and get my message out there and let you know that there's still hope. So so this past year I've been all over the world. I've been to, Houston, Texas for the surgery. I live in Portland, Oregon. So I went to Houston, Texas. I've been to Mayo Clinic in Rochester. I've been to Utah. I've been to Chicago. I've been to Portland, Oregon. Well, I'm in Portland, Oregon, so I went to the doctors here. And the overall consensus when I go to the neurologist or a neurosurgical appointment just to kind of talk about what happened, they're all on the same page. They're all like, you're completely fine. Like, your anatomy in your brain is completely fine. You have nothing to worry about. And that's great news. That's really, really good news, because at least anatomically I'm okay, and that gives me hope that you can recover. Because I think if structurally your brain is fine, you can find a way back through like neuroplasticity, through rehab, through all of that stuff that I'm going to get into here in a second. So kind of the treatments that have hit me the most, that have been the most effective, and I hope you're still watching, let me just tell you what just happened. I just did neurofeedback for the first time I've ever done it. I just found out about it. I was like, let's give it a go. I've got nothing to lose, like everything to gain. Super non-invasive. They just stick electrodes to your head. It like monitors your brain waves, and then it passively tells you where your brain's at, and your brain wants to find a homeostasis. It wants to find what's ideal, and it just kind of gets there passively. So another way to look at it is you're essentially looking at a mirror. Your brain's looking at a mirror, and it's like, oh, like, I would look better if I worked on that one lobe, if I combed that one lobe back, or if I did whatever, I would look better. So it's just a way for your brain to look at itself so it can find what it wants to do the best, because our bodies want to do what's good for us, like the brain cyst and all of that. For some reason, we don't understand it, but in some point the body thought that was the best, maybe, or it was a genetic malformation. I don't know. But now that we have the injury, now we have the surgery, and maybe this is more geared towards people with a brain injury, neurofeedback can do so much for you. Mind-Eye Institute in Chicago can do so much for you. Check them out online, mindeye.com. Check them out on YouTube. Phenomenal success stories. They can do a ton. Another institution called Cognitive FX out in Salt Lake City, Utah. Just kidding. It's a suburb of Salt Lake. Provo, Utah. Essentially Salt Lake City, Utah. Absolutely gorgeous. You get a beautiful view of the mountains of the lake. It's beautiful there. I highly recommend it if you've ever been to Salt Lake. But the clinic itself, world renowned. Professional athletes go there who have been just gotten their shit rocked too many times in like professional fights. Snowboarders who have caught their toe edge and face planted with like the force of God behind them have gone there and gotten better. So I highly recommend, and there's also one more thing. There's a lot more things, but one more thing I want to touch on. Mark Gordon down in Southern California is one of the pioneers in hormonal replacement therapy for people with head injuries. So there's the literature, you can check it out on Google Scholar. The literature is out there, and it shows time and time again that people, predominantly with a severe brain injury, unfortunately I don't have that, and hopefully you don't either, but if you do, it's okay, we can still find a way back. Usually with people with severe brain injury, they are deficient in human growth hormone and testosterone, just with the studies I've found. And the studies that I've found have obviously been, I'm not a doctor, I don't have a PhD, I don't even have a bachelor's degree. I'm in school, but it's not even for a medical related thing. I'm just some guy who wants to find my life back and wants to share the knowledge with you in hopes that I can mitigate the suffering for you. So yeah, there's just a lot of different approaches, and I truly believe that, you know, some people, they go to Cognitive FX and they feel good and they're like, I'm back. I went to Cognitive FX, I did feel good, and I did feel mostly back. Partially back. Didn't feel all the way back. And I was like, okay, that's one piece of the pie. What else is out there? So I went to my order of operations. There's also, I'm all over the place and I've drank a lot of caffeine, so hopefully you're staying with me. My order of operations, the clinics that I've went to, I feel like they've all built up on each other. There's another place I went to that I neglected to mention because I don't think it really did a lot for me. It's called Northwest Functional Neurology. They're up here in Portland, Oregon. I'm sure there's clinics like that around the nation. Just kind of Google where a functional neurologist is near you, and they can kind of help you navigate this, and they can kind of talk to you about the science and whatnot, because they're professionals and they know a lot more than I do. And kind of the premise, the bulk of his practice was utilizing a machine called a RTMS, Repetitive Transcranial Magnetic Stimulation. It's a hell of a name. Sounds super scary. It is super scary. So what it is they put an MRI strength magnet up to your dome, and it creates a current based off of some electrical principle that I don't even understand, that essentially excites your brain and causes like all your neurons to fire. So it's a super weird sensation. It's not like psychedelic or anything, although I wish it was. It's kind of an analogy that it was explained to me was, when you injure your head, the neurons kind of like, usually they're like this, and they kind of like shift. And there's like, now there's like a traffic jam. Like now they can't get back. So this pretty much just like beats it into submission essentially, and it like forces it to realign. And once they're realigned, they have much better connectivity and they work more naturally. So that's the premise of TMS. I did it for 4 days, felt great, went out clubbing with I felt 100% back. Went out partying with my girlfriend to celebrate, went to the clubs, went to the bars, got drunk, went dancing. It was an exceptional night. The next day I felt terrible. And given the surgery I have and the absence of my pineal gland, there's no science out there, there's no literature that suggests against it, but there's no studies out there about the effects of TMS with the absence of a pineal gland. So I was like, I don't want to be one of one. Like, I'm down to be a pioneer, but not with my brain. So yeah, I'm gonna step back from that. So nevertheless, the order of operations for me, I do think everything's kind of built on itself, kind of like made the circle a little more smooth, so to speak. A functional neurologist, hopefully that's all you need. I know so many people who just went to the functional neurologist and like, check in the box, I'm healed, I can move on. For me, unfortunately, it's a little more complex. So yeah, I went to a functional neurologist, helped me a lot. I don't know how much really, but I'm glad I went. Functional neurologist, Cognitive FX did a lot for me too. Brought me back to a level where I could feel I felt semi-normal, but not where I wanted to be. So then I went to Mind-Eye Institute. Did so much for me. It's like, I don't even know if it's not the placebo effect, but it just feels so innocent. So these are the glasses they give you. I mean, they just look like normal glasses, nothing too fancy about it. And you just put them on, you just wear them. And it's like, no one knows you're doing some like brain rehab. No one knows you've got like $1,000 pair of glasses on your face. No one knows any of that. You're just some dude wearing glasses. It is a little difficult to look through initially and kind of makes you a little nauseous, but that's the point. The whole point is it's a workout for your brain. Dr. Zelinsky, Dr. Myers, and I think Dr. Adams is her name. The people that work at that clinic are truly on a whole different playing field in terms of their level of intelligence and how they understand the way neuro-optometrics work. What neuro-optometrics is essentially your brain and your eye, how they interface together. Highly recommend you check them out. Highly, highly, highly recommend you check them out. What are we up to? The fourth one that I really recommend, one I just did today for my first time ever, neurofeedback. It is the most innocent, so innocent thing that you think is just like some voodoo witchcraft stuff. It's not going to do anything for you. It does a lot. It really, really does a lot. And that's the thing where you're essentially looking in a mirror of your brain. You're not doing anything. I took a nap, but when I woke up, I felt more clear-headed. I felt more like the man that I've wanted to be for the past 2 years. Highly recommend that. Highly, highly recommend that. I'm going to rock this boat. I'm going to keep going with neurofeedback. I'm going to keep my mind-eye stuff up. And I'm thinking my hormonal levels are a little off as well. The reason I believe that, so my testosterone level is around 440 last time I had it checked. With my local neuroendocrinologist, which is an endocrinologist that focuses on the hormones in the brain, she says my levels are fine. You know, she's a doctor, like an MD, and like does this professionally, but I don't necessarily agree with that, because if you look at the hormonal levels of like what's normal for a healthy man, it's like 300, I don't know the units of measure here, so please forgive me. It's like 300 to 1100. And it's like if you're 80 and have an 1100, but if you're 20 and have a 300, you're fine. Now that doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. So I'm thinking, since I'm a young 27-year-old man, I should be more on the 8, 9, 1,000 range and not 400. And I also have some symptoms that match low testosterone. I have a lower libido than what it used to be. I used to be able to have sex like 3 times a day and wake up the next day and still just crave it. Now, you know what I mean? I can go like 3 or 4 days without having sex, and I don't really like crave it. And that sucks, because sex is amazing. I also experience like lower energy levels, lower aggression as a man. And prior, I used to be, I wouldn't say like douchey, but I mean, I was like definitely aggressive. I was more assertive. Maybe that's a better word. I was more assertive. So that's gone as well. I'm still assertive, but not to the point where I was before. So I'm thinking there's some hormonal things at play. And obviously hormones are a lot more complex than just testosterone. You have the human growth complex, which people have shown that if people with brain injuries, they have a lower human growth complex. It's also interesting about testosterone and human growth complex is higher levels of both testosterone and human growth complex have been shown to reduce your probability of getting Alzheimer's or dementia. And, it sucks that we have to think about that, especially if you're in your 20s or at any age. It doesn't matter. So thinking about that stuff sucks. So since we're at a higher disposition to get it because of our brain injury, we should be on the other side of it. We should be proactive with it and be on the higher side of the defense, essentially. Like the higher probability that we won't get it. And that's with higher testosterone and HGC levels, human growth complex levels. Check all this information out on Google Scholar. Google Scholar is a free resource, one I underutilized prior to my surgery, one that you should utilize heavily. It's a gold mine of medical literature. It's a little hard to read, but like, embrace it, live it. You're here now, rock this life. And there's a beautiful podcast, Mark Gordon, I'm emailing him right now extensively. He's a great man. Watch his podcast with Joe Rogan. I think it's Joe Rogan, Frank, I don't know his last name, Frank Muir, maybe? I feel like that's not him. But Joe Rogan, Mark Gordon, and a former Green Beret guy talk about what his hormone replacement have done for him. And this is a guy that's just gone to the hormone place, which is Mark Gordon. Google him. Mark Gordon. His website's like TBI Millennial Health. It's geared towards veterans coming back from the war. I'm a veteran too, but it can help out anybody. You don't have to catch a shockwave to the face from an IED that blew up next to your Humvee to seek the benefits of his treatment. So yeah, there's a lot of information there. Again, thanks for tuning in to my car talk. I don't know why I always do this in my car, but yeah, if you have any questions at all, it brings me much pride, much joy to help those out who are lost, who are new to this. And unfortunately, I'm a little more experienced. I wish I wasn't. I wish I didn't go through this at all. I wish you didn't go through this at all. But we're here. Community makes this so much easier to go through. And if I can offer of any assistance, if you just want someone to talk to, or if you want some advice, if you want me to like look into this guy's profile to make sure I think he's legit, I'd go to him. I'd be happy to. One last thing I want to leave you with is the finances of all of this. So my functional neurologist, the clinic I went to, cost me $5,000 for a week. Mind you, I don't come from money, so this is a lot of credit card debt, but like, fuck it, let's get it. I gotta get my life back. I gotta get back in the skies. I used to be a pilot to all of this too, so there's like a long story to that too. But yeah, functionologist, $5,000. Cognitive FX, 10 grand. Holy shit. Probably do that last because that's a lot of money. Mind Eye Institute's $2,000 initially, then after that, every new prescription's around $700. Neurofeedback is so cheap. It's $100 a session. That's outstanding. And you can even rent the unit and do it at your home and save money, which is just phenomenal. Mark Gordon down in Southern California. Unfortunately, back to Mark Gordon, he does partner with other physicians around the nation that kind of like are on the same paradigm of thought as he is. So you might be able to find a local provider that can kind of do what he does. He costs around $2,500 for his initial test, and then the hormone replacement after that's surprisingly cheap. It's like $90 a month. Obviously it varies depending on what you need, but that's the rough estimate. And that's it. Yeah, that's everything that I can think of right now. Thank you so much. Believe in yourself. You will find a way back. You will find a way to become better than who you were. I find that when I was initially injured, all I wanted to do was be the person I was. I don't want that anymore. I don't think you should want that either. You should want to be better than who you were. Life changes you. It happens. It's unfortunate that the change that you've experienced, that I've experienced, that we've both experienced, has been so forced and so abrupt and so traumatic and scarring. But nevertheless, life itself changes you. So I want to be better than who I was before because I've experienced more of life than what I did before. I'm going to come out on the other side of this, and so are you. I'm going to come out on the other side of this more humble, more confident, more intelligent, more appreciative of the fragility of life, and more able to empathize with others. And I hope you got value from this video. If, like I said earlier, if you need anything at all, message me. Comment down below. We can start a public chat so that other people maybe who are struggling can look at it too and be like, oh man, Evan and Kelsey or Evan and Steven are talking about this stuff, and like, man, I really resonate with that. So if you want to start a public chat, comment below. If you want to start a private chat, message me. Either way, I hope you have a fantastic day, and thank you so much for tuning in. And believe in yourself and believe in modern medicine. You will find a way back to your best self. Thank you so much.